G'day viewers and welcome to this week's PB's Retro Restorations. This week I've got this Corgi Lotus Mark 11 Le Mans that appears to have been launched in at least as early as 1958 and was in production till at least 1966. And the last shot I could find of it was in the 1967 catalogue, where it was seen to only be available as part of the Silverstone racing set. Can you imagine getting that set for Christmas back then? Hooly dooly. Now this guy's had a makeover in British racing green at some stage. Now all quality British race cars should be British racing green, but from the factory this Corgi is supposed to be blue, so I'll be trying to replicate that colour, and we'll be replacing the broken windshield, and I'm going to try and replace the headlights because they're not real good either, but you know, thanks to quality parts that didn't go very well. But let's get started, get her apart and see how we go. Now the wheels on this model are only held on by the body while the body's in place. They're normally pressed onto the axles with Corgi, or most Corgi models. So it was a pleasant surprise to find them all fall off. It was also a pleasant surprise to find the tyres still quite serviceable. Won't have to replace them. It'll look good. And here you can see that original blue underneath. Now I'm going to have to lift my paint matching game because again it didn't quite come out, but I gave it a go. Getting the lights out were a fight. After I'd stripped the paint off them, they kind of melted into place. So any money I saved on the tyres, I'm spending on replacing those headlights. Just cleaning up the unpainted base, just to make it look nice and neat. We won't be painting it. And we're going to clean that body up some more. The paint fell off this one, it was good. Now looking at it here, I was really happy with the colour, it looked good. Then it dried and it went darker, and that's something I've got to improve in my skill set, is allowing for the paint to go darker when it dries. Catches me every time. I'm just painting in the chrome behind the lights so they'll look nice when they're done, and I'll do the other detailing as well. Just bending the steering wheel back into shape. It was actually cracked in one spot, but a bit of careful for noodling, and we got it looking human again. Now there's an early and a late version of this casting. I have the early one, and the windscreen I got sent was for the later one. The later one has pegs on it, which I had to cut off so it would fit. That was fun. And the headlights, they would not fit properly. I just pushed them in. I did my best. I didn't want to grind them. I waited for them to come from France. I wasn't going to wait for another set. Anyway, I drew myself some replacement stripes on my computer. I printed them out on sticky paper. I know they should be a decal, but I didn't want to invest too much more cash into this one. So I did that, cut them out. They're not as glossy as they should be, but they look all right. So here's a look at what we started with, missing its windshield, its headlights, which in retrospect don't look so bad compared to how they look now, in British racing green, in need of a little bit of a makeover. And here's what we've got now. Looking much improved, although I wouldn't call it 100% unqualified success. I still think it's much better than it looked, even with the cutback windscreen. and the ill-fitting headlights. I could have ground them to try and make them fit, but I was terrified I'd ruin them and then we'd have no video. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my old subscribers for sticking with me. Thank you to my new subscribers that joined us this week. I've hit 30 subscribers, people. I'm going viral. Woo, stop the internet. And I hope you'll join me again next time. And while you're here, why don't you click on one of these links to check out my other videos, or click on my ugly head to subscribe, and please consider liking and sharing. I appreciate all the support I get. Thank you very much.